Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the show that makes big winners out of the lowest scorers. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, I'm Joe. This is my colleague Paul, and we're both from Blackburn.
Couple number two.
Hello, I'm Annabelle. This is my son Finley, and we're from Marlow.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Will. This is Paul, my friend, and we're from Leicester.
And finally, couple number four.
Hello, I'm Jen. This is my friend Jen, and we're from Kent.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. Very warm welcome to Pointless. Marvellous to have you with us. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who can we get to invigilate? It's my Pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hey, everybody. Afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So many Pauls, so many Jens.
I know, so little time.
We are 50% Paul and Jen.
I know. Two things weird. First, the Jens, Jen 1 and 2,
Yeah.
both on the same podium.
We'll have to get off Jen to look into that.
Certainly. Weird thing number 2, and this really is weird.
Yeah.
Paul is Paul D.
Yes.
The other Paul's just Paul.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why that is.
I'm going to ask.
Perhaps he's another Paul D. Or what if he's
Yeah.
Paul 2000 and he's really a robot and he's trying to hide it? That's the most likely so far.
Thank you. Now, listen, Beth and Luke didn't win the jackpot last time. This is good news. So we're going to add another £1,000 to it. So today's jackpot starts off at the princely £2,000. 2,000, like Paul 2000.
Oh, yeah.
See?
There you go. And so they thought we'd get confused.
Yeah. Thank you very much. OK, right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. All you have to remember is this: the pair with the highest score at the end of each round gets eliminated. So just keep your scores as low as you can. Best of luck to all 4 pairs. Our first category this afternoon is European football. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many teams in the 2018-19 Champions League as they could. Richard.
Yes, looking for the names of any of the 32 club sides that took part in the 2018-2019 Champions League. Very best of luck. Just in the group stages.
The group stages of the Champions League. OK, Joe, welcome. You are welcome to Pointless. Great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
Yes, so I'm Joe. I'm an aerospace quality engineer.
That's fun. An aerospace quality engineer.
I'm glad someone's doing it.
Yeah, good job. What sort of qualities are you checking on?
It's more of a top level, basically make sure that all the parts and all the processes that we work to are correct to customer and international regulations.
Very good. So you're going through all the data, making sure it tallies with international specifications.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
I've got even that right. I just got to use words like specifications. Doesn't mean I'm right. Joe, what are you going to go for?
Ooh. I'm going to go for Porto.
Porto?
Yes.
Says Joe. OK, Porto. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It's right. Looking good, Joe. Down he goes 14. Very well done. 14 for Porto.
Yeah, very good start to the show. They were the champions in 2004, Porto. They're from Portugal. Yeah, they were knocked out in the quarterfinals by a team who I can't mention because they're also an answer.
Yes. Thank you.
You see? Always thinking.
Annabelle, welcome back.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us once again. Remind us all about yourself.
Well, I work in marketing communications, and a couple of years ago I stopped working full-time and was lucky enough to sort of scale down my hours to pursue some other interests.
Talk us through these other interests.
Well, main thing I did was take up golf with a friend of mine, which I love, because it's just sort of being outside.
Had you not played at all before?
Not played at all. If you saw me play tomorrow, you'd think I didn't play at all. But I'd love
Who cares?
it.
It's
out
fun.
in the fresh air, and it's just fun.
How nice. Have you got a nice golf club nearby that you
Yes, yeah.
you always go to? Or
Quite
do
a
you,
few.
or do you tour? Do you try out different
Well, we tour.
places?
We tour, the ones that are doing the bargains.
Very good. Good stuff. Bargain golf clubs.
Bargain golf.
The best kind. Annabelle, what are you going to go for?
OK, well, I'm hoping this is right. I know if it's right, it'll be very high, but I thought I'll just go for it, and I'm going to say Barcelona.
Barcelona, says Annabelle. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Barcelona. It is right. Down it goes to 51. It's a lot better than 100, Annabelle.
Yeah, reached the quarterfinals for a record 12th consecutive year, knocked out in the semi-finals. I forget who by.
Yes, thank you very much indeed, Richard. Paul, welcome to Pointless.
Hi.
Good to have you here, sir. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm not a robot from the future or the past.
Oh, he remembered.
That's what a robot would
Yes,
say.
yeah.
Very true.
The robot wouldn't be programmed to say, if
Yeah.
it's supposed to be hidden, wouldn't be programmed to say, no, you got me.
Yes.
He would absolutely stick to the line. Ask him what his surname is.
What's your surname, Paul?
I'm actually another Paul D.
Oh, see, that was it. You were right
there
first
you
time.
go.
He was Paul D, Paul D.
But
so which one, who got to be just Paul and who had to carry the burden of D?
I think they probably took a punt on who was going to go further and
OK. And
value for money out of the sign, I guess.
there we... Do you think, that's a good point, do all our first names we ever have, do they then go back and they just sit in a rack? You've got
do.
Paul A, just go through them, Paul
Yeah,
W...
in fact, we should stop keeping them in a rack because it's such a long way away. You just think it's too far.
Paul, so any team from the 2018-2019 Champions League, what are you going to go for?
I'm going to say Napoli.
Napoli. Oh, it gets a powerful nod from Will. Let's see, is Napoli right? How many of our 100 people said Napoli? It's right. 51's our high score, 14's our low. We passed the high score. We passed the low. Down to 6. Very well done indeed with Napoli, Paul.
Well played, Paul. Yeah, they got knocked out in the group stages. Napoli came third in their group.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Jendi.
Hello.
Jendi. How are you, Jendi?
I'm very well.
It's great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I'm a teacher from Kent, a secondary school history teacher, which is a fantastic job, I must say, teaching kids. And yeah, and I'm quite keen on sort of outdoor fitness stuff. I don't do golf, but I do outdoor fitness, so yeah.
Very good indeed. Now, so obviously in Kent, surrounded by history, as I
Yes.
suppose one is pretty much everywhere, but do you ever take the kids out and show them history?
Oh, most definitely, yep. So I work in Dover. We're just down the road from the castle, so we
amazing.
do that, yep. And I think I'm off to Hampton Court Palace in a couple of weeks, so yeah,
Very
we definitely make the most of that. Bit of a treat.
That's going to be great. Well, I hope the weather's good for you.
Thank you.
Jen, what team are you going to go for?
OK, I'm going to go with Ajax.
Ajax.
Yes.
Ajax.
Bit of a risk, but
No.
hopeful.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Ajax. It's right. 51 remains the high score, 6 now are low. 23 for Ajax, not bad. Not bad at all.
Well played, one of the gens. It's a very good answer. They had a terrific tournament, Ajax, until they were beaten in a game which we mustn't discuss. Ajax of Amsterdam.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's have a look at our field. Ooh, interesting, interesting. You were all completely equal just moments ago, and now this is where you are. 6, the lowest score of the past. Well done, Paul. Fantastic. Joe and Paul D looking pretty good on 14. Then up to 23, the gens. Then we travel quite a long way up to 51. Annabelle and Finley are to be found there. However, Finley, there's something about your bearing. I think you've got a good answer in there. Let's hope you have. Everything could change at the end of the next pass, so good luck to you all. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, Jen, welcome. Tell us all about yourself, Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm an assistant service manager for Kent County Council. I look after libraries, registration and archives.
That's nice. How long have you known each other, Jen and Jen?
Ooh, about 25 years since we were at school together.
Very nice. And there was confusion then that you were Jens.
Yes, so we would sometimes get given the wrong homework back and I'd think, oh, fantastic, I've got an A in history. But that Jen had got an A in history.
Who would get an A in European football?
I suspect that Jen
OK, well,
the
listen.
A-star student again.
Well, A, there we are. It has been set at 23 in that case. Let's see what you can go for. Any team from the group stages of the Champions League 18-19, Jen?
OK, I'm slightly out of my depth, but I'm going to have a try for Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich, says Jen. H. Here is your red line. If you can get below that with Bayern Munich, you're into round 2, even at this early stage. How many people said Bayern Munich? It's right. And it gets you through. Down it goes to 20. Very well done indeed. 43 is your total.
Yeah, got knocked out in the round of 16. Some very classy damage limitation on podium 4 there. That's the way to play the game, isn't it? Go safe, but not too safe.
Yeah, and a lower score, I might add, than Gen D. Just putting it out there. Will, welcome to Pointless. Good to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, Will.
So I'm the transformation lead for emergency and specialist medicine at University Hospitals of Leicester.
Transformation lead.
Yes.
Wow, what does that mean?
It's like when you have to charge your phone.
So it's a lot about service improvement, patient experience.
Transforming the experience.
And cost improvement.
And by lead, does that mean you're the most... I don't know, are you...
I'm the lead of the Transformers.
That's what I was hoping you'd say. He's the lead. They are robots. They really are robots. I can't believe it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait for him to pack himself away again at the end.
In a matter of time. Will, you're on 6. If you can score 44 or less, you're through.
I'm going to go for another German team. I'm going to go for Borussia Dortmund.
Borussia Dortmund, says Will. Here is your red line, nice and high, comparatively speaking. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Borussia Dortmund. It's right. And you're through. Down against 15, very well done indeed, taking your total up to 21. Could be contenders to be our low scorers there.
Knocked out in the round of 16 as well, Borussia Dortmund, former winners of the Champions League.
Thank you very much indeed. Finley, welcome back.
Hello, thank you.
Remind us all about yourself, Finley.
I work in PR in the city and play a lot of tennis and keen traveller. Got a trip to Africa planned later in the year, doing a self-drive safari. So keen to get out there.
This is fun. A self-drive safari?
Yeah.
Where will you be doing that?
Namibia, Botswana. Drive out in the wild and camp, basically. So.
What do you do for safety? I mean, I'm concerned for you.
Well, you're kind of sleeping on top of the car. I mean, that's kind of the distance you've got between you and the ground, basically.
Just a pounce away from a lion.
Basically, yeah.
OK. Do you have lion spray? Is there something you can...
Yeah. That's what we've got, yeah.
Lions famously afraid of roof racks, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's right. Yes. That's it. OK, now, Finley, there you are, on 51.
Yeah.
Currently the high scorers.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to have to take a bit of a risk. No idea if they were in this edition of the Champions League, but I'm going to go Victor Pleasen.
Victor Pleasen. That got a gasp from our audience there. Victor Pleasen. No red line for you, as you're the high scorers. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Victor Pleasen. Let's see if it's right. Oh, Finley. Finley, oh, Finley, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That scores you 100 points. Takes your total up to 151.
Sorry, Finley, I'll explain all at the end of the round.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Paul D. Great to have you here, Paul. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm an inventory management analyst for the same aerospace company that Joe works for. Basically, I look after the freezer life and the inventory levels of carbon fibre materials, paints, resins and adhesives.
Oh, that's the department I'd want to work in. Paul, the good news is you are through to the next round. What team are you going to go for?
I have a vague recollection, coming away from Manchester one evening, that Manchester City played in a group game against Stuttgart. I'm trying to work out if it's this year, but seeing as we're through, I am going to say Stuttgart.
OK. Stuttgart says Paul D. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. No red line. You're already through. Oh, no. Well, there we are. Fun to find out. Scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 114.
Yeah, worth a go, though. It might have been Schalke you were thinking of, who Man City beat 7-0.
Yeah, it was that one.
There you go. Now, the unluckiest person in the round is Finley, because you were a gender away from the pointless answer, and it's not Victor Plitzen, it's Victoria Plitzen, I'm afraid, so we couldn't take it, but very, very unlucky. So if you're going to get knocked out, if you're going to get 100 points, that's the way to do it. Very, very close to giving us a pointless answer. There's only 2 pointless answers in the whole round, actually. Victoria Plitzen and Shakhtar Donetsk also was a pointless answer. Other low scorers, CSKA Moscow and Lokomotiv Moscow would have scored you 1 point. Young Boys would have scored you 1 point. 2 for Galatasaray, Bruges and AEK Athens. 3 for Red Star Belgrade and Hoffenheim. 4 for Valencia and PSV. Inter would have scored you 5. The top 3 scorers, let's take a look at those, the ones that most of our 100 people said. Liverpool would have scored you 64. Man City, 71. It doesn't matter how unsuccessful they are. They're always top.
Yeah.
Man United on 74 there.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, we are at the end of our first round, and the pair who are heading home, oh, Finlay, particularly sorry to be sending you home. It's been great fun having you here. Thank you so much. Finlay and Annabelle, very well done. Honourable defeat. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. And only 3 pairs remain, and look at that. The fall of our returning pair. They've gone. You've seen them off. The rise of the newcomers. Paul, very well done. You were our lowest individual scorer. In fact, Paul and Will, our lowest combined scorers there. But well done, all of you. Great scoring there. Our category for round 2 today is famous people. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns famous Joes and Joes. Richard.
Yeah, it's going to be 6 questions on each pass that will lead you to a famous Joe or Joe. But who are these Joes or Joes, please? There's going to be 12 Joes or Joes to guess at home.
That's interesting.
It'd be nice for Jen and Jen to guess some Joes and Joes.
That's nice.
And Paul and Paul.
See, normally you only hear about regular Joes. OK, so we are looking for these famous Joes or Joes, and here is our first board of 6 clues. New Jersey-born actor who won an Oscar for the 1990 film Goodfellas. Actor who began playing Tanya in EastEnders in 2006. Politician appointed Transport Minister in 2018, younger brother of Boris and Rachel. British runner who won the women's 10,000-metre gold at the 2014 European Championships, aged 40. Actor who's played Chris Miles in Skins and Gendry in Game of Thrones. And broadcaster and DJ who began presenting a new evening show on BBC Radio 2 in January 2019. I'll read those all again. New Jersey-born actor who won an Oscar for the 1990 film Goodfellas. Actor who began playing Tanya in EastEnders in 2006. Politician appointed Transport Minister in 2018, younger brother of Boris and Rachel. British runner who won the women's 10,000-metre gold at the 2014 European Championships, aged 40. Actor who's played Chris Miles in Skins and Gendry in Game of Thrones. And broadcaster and DJ who began presenting a new evening show on BBC Radio 2 in January 2019. There we are. Appropriately enough, Joe.
Oh, it's not the best round for me, this, to be honest.
Don't let all the other Joes down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, but I can't think of the actor's name. And I think I'm going to have to go and punt for Joe Johnson, the third one.
Joe Johnson, says Joe. Not entirely persuaded with that one, but there we are. No, Joe Johnson. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It's right. Not bad, actually. 51. Good damage limitation, right.
It's one of the mini Johnsons.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the minute you see Boris, only really one surname suggests itself, because it's sort of hidden at the back of the clue. I guess there's 49 others.
Oh, the second they see politician appointed Transport Minister, half the people are going, oh, this is not for me.
Yeah.
That's the thing with questions sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't give up halfway through. Sometimes there's a little clue at the end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Words of wisdom. Little tip there. Tip. Will, what are you going to go for?
It is also not a good round for me either.
Did you not revise Joe's and Joe's?
No. I think I'm going to take a punt at the bottom one. I'm going to say Joe Wiley.
Joe Wiley, says Will. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Joe Wiley. It's right. 51's the only score we have at the moment. You pass it. Down it goes to 26. Not bad at all. Joe Wiley.
Well played, the wonderful Joe Wiley there. She was born Joanne, but Johanne. There's so many different ways of being Joe or Joanne or Joanna. That's a new one on me.
Joe Hain.
Joe Hain.
Would be a good way of saying it.
Would be a really good name.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's just call her Joe.
Let's call her Joe for now. Jen. This board's all yours, by the way. If you felt like talking us through all the Joes...
That would be lovely, wouldn't it? But Well, I guess I don't know as much about Joe's as I thought I did, but I'm going to have to just go with the top one, I'm afraid, and say Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci. OK, well, let's see how many of our 100 people said Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci is right. 51 still the high score, and you passed that. 34, not bad.
Very well played. Now, you know, sometimes I tell you incorrect answers members of 100 said. Can you guess what one of our 100 people said to that one?
Go on, you have to tell me.
Joe Pasquale.
I was thinking
Joe Pasquale,
yeah.
who should have won an Oscar,
I tell you what.
but hasn't.
He would have been even more chilling than Joe Pesci, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
If he was saying...
You think I'm funny? Well, I'm a comedian, am I?
That'd be quite fun.
It'll work beautifully for Joe.
Yeah, good.
Shall we fill these in? Do you know the actor who began playing Tanya Branning?
I don't.
Great comic actor as well. Joe Joyner. She would have scored you 22 points. The British runner, an incredible achievement, age of 40, winning. That was Joe Pavey. She would have scored you 12. And the actor who played Chris Miles and Gendry.
I don't know.
Joe Dempsey. Well done if you said that. 4 points. It's the best answer on the board.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, let's have a quick look at our scores. We're halfway through the round. 26, the best score of the pass. Well done to you, Will. Then up to 34. Not bad there, the Gens on the far podium there. 51, Joe and Paul D. Paul D, let's hope you get a nice board and you know those Joes. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, 6 more famous Joes and Joes coming up on the board, and here they come. Perfumer and entrepreneur noted for her range of candles awarded a CBE in 2018, politician who served briefly as Prime Minister of Canada between Pierre Trudeau's 2 terms, comedian and broadcaster who wrote the 2018 book Born Lippy, How to Do Female, vlogger who was a finalist on Strictly Come Dancing in 2018, British tennis player who reached the semi-finals of the Wimbledon ladies singles in 2017, and boxer who fought Muhammad Ali in the 1975 fight dubbed The Thriller in Manila. I'll read those again. Perfumer and entrepreneur, noted for her range of candles, awarded a CBE in 2018. Politician who served briefly as Prime Minister of Canada between Pierre Trudeau's 2 terms. Comedian and broadcaster who wrote the 2018 book Born Lippy, How to Do Female. Vlogger who was a finalist on Strictly Come Dancing in 2018. British tennis player who reached the semi-finals of the Wimbledon ladies singles in 2017. And the boxer who fought Muhammad Ali in the 1975 fight dubbed The Thriller in Manila. Jen D.
Yes.
Jen D, it is your time to shine. You are on 34. If you can score 16 or less, you're through.
I know a couple, but it's just trying to work out which one might perhaps be the lowest score. I think I'm going to go with the top one, Joe Malone.
Joe Malone. OK, Joe Malone. Here is your red line. If you can get below that, you're through to the head-to-head. Let's see how many people said Joe Malone. That's right. Ooh, not bad, Jen. Not bad. I think you've done enough. 29 for Joe Malone. Takes your total up to 63.
Well played, Jen. Joe Malone left school at 15, set up her own business, sold it for millions to Estee Lauder in 1999.
Brilliant.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good for her.
Good for her, indeed. Paul.
Hello.
What are you going to go for? 36 is your target. 36 or less gets you through.
I'm 50-50 on a few of them. I'm going to play what I think is safe and go for the second bottom one, the ladies tennis player, and go Johanna Konta.
Johanna Konta, says Paul. Let's see if that's right. There's your red line just appearing there. Get below that. The head-to-head beckons. Joe Konta, is that right? It is right. Through you go. Very well done indeed. 16. That scores you. 42 is your total.
Yeah, lost to Venus Williams in the end, but very much on an upward trajectory, Joe Konta.
Thank you very much, Richard. Paul D. Now then, this is going to be quite tough. You're on 51. You have to score 11 or less. Do you fancy talking us through that board?
I think probably one that's going to be that is the politician, and I don't know that one. I think the third one's Joe Brand. Can't quite bring Joe... It was my lad's favourite person on Strictly Come Dancing. I can't quite bring that to mind. I don't know the politician, so I'm going to have to say, for the bottom one, Joe Bugner.
Joe Bugner, says Paul. Here's your red line. Let's see, Joe Bugner. How far down the column do we get with that?
Fraser.
We don't get down the column at all. That's an incorrect answer. Scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 151.
Yeah, not Joe Bugner, I'm afraid. He did fight Ali. Yeah, Joe Fraser is right. Would have scored you 41 points. You are quite right. The politician is the only one that would have won it for you. So I'll tell you the other couple of answers. First, the vlogger was Joe Sugg, which scored you 20. The comedian and broadcaster, you're quite right, was Joe Brand. She would have scored you 16. Now, this is a pointless answer, perhaps unsurprisingly. He was Prime Minister for a very short amount of time. He was only 39 when he became Prime Minister of Canada, and it's Joe Clark. Well done if you got that.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, so we are at the end of our second round, and the people we are sending home, it's our pair, Paul D and Joe. A high score of 151. Sorry to see you go at this stage, but you'll be back next time. And I'm sure you'll do just as well, if not better, I hope. But meantime, thanks so much, Paul and Joe. But for the remaining two pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Will and Paul, Jen and Jen. You are now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £2,000. There it is. It's the head-to-head. You now play as a pair. First pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. Well,
what a show we've had so far. We're now 75% Jen or Paul, which is quite something. Joe got knocked out on a roundabout Joe's. First time we've ever had 2 Jens in the head-to-head. First time we've ever had 2 robots in the head-to-head. I mean, it's breaking new ground.
Yeah, and actually, Paul, you said very modestly you thought Paul D got the initial because he was going to go further. Turns out you, unencumbered by a letter, you've flown.
Yeah.
Flown.
Streamlined, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the thing.
Less pressure.
Yeah, I guess. That must be what it comes down to. Anyway, best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. Here is your first question, and it concerns Stephen King films. Richard.
We're going to show you stills now from 5 films based on the writings of Stephen King, but can you identify these films, please?
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal the 5 stills. Here they come. We have got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are. 5 stills from Stephen King films. Will and Paul, you're our low scorers, so you get to go first. Feel free to chat.
We are both in agreement that D is The Dark Tower.
D, The Dark Tower. OK, thank you very much indeed. Now, Jen and Jen, do you want to talk us through the rest of that board?
OK. Well, A is The Shining, and B is The Lovely Friendly It. C, we're not too sure on.
No.
I could guess, but I think we would have gone with D, but I think we'll go with E. Shall we? Shawshank Redemption. Yeah.
OK, you're going to go Shawshank Redemption. So we have The Dark Tower and we have The Shawshank Redemption. Will and Paul said The Dark Tower for D. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. It's right, The Dark Tower. And down that goes to 9. Very well done indeed. That's a great score. The Jens, meanwhile, have gone for E and have said The Shawshank Redemption. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. $51. Very well done, Will and Paul. After 1 question, you're up 1-0.
Nicely played. There is an answer there that would have beaten The Dark Tower. It is C, as you would imagine, so we'll get to that last. A was The Shining. Scored you 31 points. So many great films made of Stephen King writings. I think you've got Stand By Me is not on there. Misery is not on there.
Yeah.
Some amazing movies. B, as you say, is It. It would have scored you 53, more than Shawshank Redemption. And C is the best answer there.
It is. It's a terrifying film.
Really scary.
Children of the Corn.
Children of the Corn, and would have scored you 4 points. Very well done if you said that at home.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed. OK, here comes your second question. The Gens, you have to win this one. Stay in the game, so good luck. Our second question this afternoon is all about the 29th of February.
Yeah, simply 5 clues to facts about the 29th of February.
Thank you very much. Let's reveal the 5 29th of February facts, and here they come. In the UK, a person born on the 29th of February officially turns 18 on this date. US Civil War epic, which won 8 competitive Oscars on the 29th of February 1940. Gilbert and Sullivan opera, in which the lead character is born on the 29th of February. The Australian swimmer who set the women's 100-metre freestyle record on the 29th of February 1964. And the sign of the zodiac for those born on a leap day. I'll read those all again. In the UK, a person born on the 29th of February officially turns 18 on this date. US Civil War epic, which won 8 competitive Oscars on the 29th of February 1940. Gilbert and Sullivan opera, in which the lead character is born on the 29th of February. The Australian swimmer who set the women's 100-metre freestyle record on the 29th of February 1964. And the sign of the zodiac for those born on a leap day. There we are. 5 clues to the 29th of February. Gens, you go first.
OK, so we're going to go for the second, the US Civil War epic, and we think it's Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind is what the Gens are going to go for. Now, Will and Paul, do you want to talk us through the rest of that board?
No.
Yeah, I don't...
Guess a star sign.
Get Pisces? What comes after Aquarius? That's what I am. Pisces? I don't know.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I guess the sign of the zodiac for those born on a leap day will say Pisces.
You're going to say Pisces. So we have Gone with the Wind and we have Pisces. The Gens have gone for Gone with the Wind. Let's see if that is right for the Civil War epic. How many of our 100 people said it? It is Gone with the Wind. And down it goes to 22. Will and Paul, meanwhile, have gone for the sign of the zodiac for those born on a leap day, Pisces. Let's see if Pisces is right. Pisces is right. And it needs to beat 22. 26 for Pisces. Oh, very well done. The Gens, you're back in the game. After 2 questions, it's 1-1.
Let's fill in the rest of these, shall we? The birthday question at the top.
I am still...
Well, every 4th year, the birthday would be the 29th of February. So
oh, I see what you mean. Oh, that'd be the 1st of March.
When you're 18, it'll be the 1st of March, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
That would have scored you 17. The Gilbert and Sullivan opera
is the Pirates of Penzance.
That would have scored 5. And the best answer on the board, Dawn Fraser is the Australian swimmer. 3 points for that. Well done if you said that.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, here comes your third question. Whoever wins this one goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Our third question today is all about shapes. Richard.
This is a good head-to-head, everybody. Let's finish it here, shall we? We're going to show you the names of 5 shapes now, but in the form of anagrams. Whoever gives us the most obscure answer is going through to play for the jackpot.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal the 5 anagrams. Here they come. Gonna Pet, a large prom all, mob rush, regal tin, and oxen hag. I'll read those all again. Gonna Pet, a large prom all, mob rush, regal tin, and oxen hag. There we are. Will and Paul will go first.
Go with that. We're going to go with the third one.
Yep.
We're going to go with rhombus.
Rhombus for mob rush. Rhombus. So then, I'm going to come to the Gens. You can talk us through that board if you like.
OK. We have a hexagon at the bottom, a triangle above that. I'm just trying to unscramble the top one. Not sure I can quite see that.
No.
And then we're left with, should we go for the second?
Yeah.
We're going to go with the classic parallelogram.
Parallelogram. OK, so we have rhombus and we have parallelogram. Will and Paul went with rhombus. Let's see if that is right for mob rush. How many people said it? Rhombus is right. Down goes to 24. Good. The Gens, meanwhile, have gone for parallelogram for a large prom all. Is it right? How many people said parallelogram? Parallelogram is absolutely right. 24 is what it's got to beat. It's going to be close. Yeah, and it wins it. Look at that. Very well done. 21 for parallelogram. Very, very well played. Exciting head-to-head, but well done, Jen. And Jen, after 3 questions, you're through to the final 2-1.
Great stuff there, everybody. Had you worked out the top one?
Yes, it was Pentagon.
Pentagon's lucky you didn't work it out because it would have scored you too many points. Would have seen you knocked out 44 for that. And Triangle would have scored you 56. And Hexagon's the biggest of all, maybe because the X is in the middle of it there. 72 for that.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, at the end of our head-to-head round, that means, Will and Paul, we have to say goodbye to you. An exemplary game, though. You've played incredibly well. And the good news is we get to see you again.
Brilliant.
So, yes, let's hope you'll do just as well next time. Maybe take it one step further. But meantime, thank you so much, Will and Paul. But for Jen and Jen, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Jen! And Jen, you have seen off all the competition and you have won our coveted Pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our Pointless jackpot. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £2,000. There we are. Look at that, 100% Jen. 100%. Very, very well done indeed. Just one performance. Just got straight through to the final and coming slightly from behind as the second couple in the head-to-head. What do you want to see come up in this last round?
Films.
Yeah, popular culture, film, books.
Yeah, literature.
All the
would be
fluffy
good.
stuff in life. That would be nice.
OK, well, very best of luck. 4 things, as you know, will appear on the board. We've just got to hope one of them appeals to you. Today's list looks like this. 1940s musical biopics, beer, contemporary thriller writers, the All Blacks.
Wow.
What
do we think?
I'm assuming All Blacks is rugby, in which case, no.
Yeah.
Beer?
Beer's nice, but do we know enough about it?
No. It'd probably be between, well, it's got to be between biopics and writers.
Let's go for the top.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Go on then.
1940s musical biopics, please.
OK, there we are, Rich.
So we're looking for the songs or musical numbers featured in any of these biopics, please. Featured in the George M. Cohen biopic, Yankee Doodle Dandy, the Cole Porter biopic, Night and Day, or the Rodgers and Hart biopic, Words and Music. So George M. Cohen, Cole Porter, and Rodgers and Hart. Very best of luck.
OK, yes, very best of luck. As always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win the jackpot is for just one of your answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yes.
I will say this is according to IMDb, and obviously anything that's mentioned in the title is not an acceptable answer.
Let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
OK, this is tough.
I know nothing.
Well, I'm thinking, words and music, I can't even think to guess, but Yankee Doodle Dandy at the top. Maybe Camptown Races?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yep, I
Kind
don't...
of swing in there.
Well, it's worth a try, isn't it? Because I mean, I don't know any of this at all, unfortunately. So, yeah, Yankee Doodle Dandy,
the American
something.
history out of your
This
brain.
is it. I mean, I'm thinking something a bit sort of Calamity Jane-y feel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yankee Doodle Dandy. So what did you say? Camptown Races.
And
Is that Camp? Is
it
that
runs
Camp
through my head
Granada?
in the... Oh, I think that's
Something
much
about
later.
that,
That's
much
like
later.
50s.
Maybe we should just come up with something that sounds... What about something about love?
Sing the wall.
10 seconds left.
Oh, gosh. Should we go, I love you, and Rodgers and a Cole Porter. Cole Porter, what did he do? Cole Porter was...
I'm afraid that's your time up. I'm so sorry.
That goes quick.
Let's have your 3 answers. And if you could say which of the films you're referring to.
OK. Camptown Races for Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Camptown Races.
How Much I Love You from Day and Night, or Night and Day, rather.
How Much I Love You.
And, what's that other Cole Porter one?
Oklahoma for Words
Okay.
and Music.
And Oklahoma from Words and Music. Of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
I think maybe Camptown
Yeah.
Races.
Camptown Races,
Only
we'll
one
put
that came to mind.
Least likely to be pointless.
The one
All
that you
right.
just made up.
Yes.
Remind me what it's called.
How much I
How
love
much
How much I love you.
you
How
or
much I
something,
love you.
yeah.
OK. Let's put those answers up on the board in that order then, and here they are. We have got How Much I Love You, Oklahoma, and Countdown Races. There we are, 3, I'm going to call them shots in the dark, but you never know. Sometimes they land. You never know. Anything could happen. And 2,000 quid is hanging in the balance. What would you like to do with your winnings, Jen H?
I applied because my dad and I loved to watch Pointless, and sadly he died a couple of years ago, so I'd like to buy a bench for him.
Oh,
Special
lovely.
Pointless bench.
That would be really lovely. Jen D.
Mine's not nearly as nice as that. I'd like to just pay someone to clean my house for as long as £1,000 lasts.
That's lovely too.
I have to say, Jen left you with nowhere to go there, did she?
Yeah. Oh, lovely, both of those. Let's hope one of these answers will win those opportunities for you. We are looking for songs from various movies, biopics, from the 40s. How Much I Love You was your first answer. In this case, we were looking for songs from the Cole Porter biopic, Night and Day. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Let's first see if it's right. £2,000 is yours if it's pointless. No, dear. How Much I Love You. On this occasion, I'm afraid, an incorrect answer. Your next answer was Oklahoma. In this case, we were looking for the Rodgers and Hart biopic, Words and Music, and songs from that. For £2,000, is Oklahoma pointless? No. I'm afraid another incorrect answer. So we now move to your third and final answer, Camptown Races. We're looking for songs from the biopic Yankee Doodle Dandy. How many of our 100 people said Camptown Races? For £2,000, is it pointless? No, bad luck. I'm sorry, that was a tough call for you. None of those categories particularly suited you, I'm afraid. But anyway, you made a valiant effort there. Sadly, you didn't find the all-important pointless answer, so you don't win today's jackpot, but you have won today's pointless trophy, so very well done indeed for that, at least.
Yeah, unlucky, not the right category in the end for you. Shall we take a look at some pointless answers? There'll be songs you know, but I don't think there's stuff you would have stumbled across in the 60 seconds. We'll start with George M. Cohen. These were Pointless Jeepers Creepers as a pointless answer. Molly Malone, Over There, the Battle Hymn of the Republic. The biggest scorer for George and Cohen was Give My Regards to Broadway. Let's move on now to Cole Porter. Some very famous songs here that were pointless answers. Blow Gabriel Blow. There's I Get a Kick Out of You was a pointless answer. Let's Do It, Let's Fall in Love. That was a pointless answer. You're the Top was a pointless answer, as was, you said How Much I Love You, Do I Love You was a pointless answer by Cole Porter. Miss Otis Regrets, You Do Something to Me, Don't Fence Me In, pointless answer there as well. And Rodgers and Hart, some big songs here as well. Blue Moon as a pointless answer. On Your Toes, The Lady is a Tramp, and This Can't Be Love. Very well done if you said any of those at home.
Thank you, Richard, and thank you once again to Jen and Jen. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today, but that'll therefore roll over onto the next show, when we will be playing for £3,000. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.